Welcome, my beautiful people, to This Week in Review. I'm going to get right into this week's question. And the question, and I'm going to summarize because the way it's written, it really didn't make a whole lot of sense initially. But the Adam, I believe it's his first name, writes, for your 9K, what fees are you collecting? We're just getting some scale. I'm assuming he's not starting to scale. And at the point, I'm looking for ways to monetize our guests. It's a great question. I just wish he was a little bit more specific on the question, because every property or every operator, has a different type of business, right? In the short-term rental business, there's a lot of ways you can operate, right? You can work through rental arbitrage, which I hate. You can be an investor and operating your property. You can be a property manager and managing other people's properties. You could be co-hosting. So there's a lot of different ways to do it. But I'm going to answer this question specifically as it relates to monetizing guests. I'm going to give you a couple of options on what you can be doing to monetize your guests. In addition, cross-selling, right? So the first thing should be obvious is to add additional service and monetize those additional services. Those additional services are only limited by your creativity, right? You can monetize or add additional services such as transportation, picking up people at the airport, dropping them off at the airport. You can monetize luggage storage, right? Oftentimes, a guest may come in, you can't allow, or having an early check-in isn't feasible because you have a guest there that's checking out. Then you can monetize by collecting their luggage, holding it until check-in is available. The next, along those same lines, is monetizing early check-ins and early checkouts. Another one is in-stay cleanings, right? Depending on how long they stay, you can monetize a daily in-stay cleaning, or you can monetize a towel exchange, or you can monetize a linen exchange, and or monetize laundry service. You'd be surprised how, especially business people, will pay you to do their laundry, even if they're only going to stay there for a couple of days, because what they want is for you to iron their clothes so they can be ready for whatever business they need to be doing while they're there, especially if they're business travelers, right? But having a ironing service can be a way to monetize. Another way along the same lines, right? Well, adding extra services is one way to monetize. And again, you're only limited by your creativity there. Depending on the service, can be a lot. Guided tours, that's another way. So that's one. The next is teaming up with local businesses or experiences. Here's what I mean by that. We generate a lot of money this way, and that is teaming up with bike rentals, boat rentals, or companies that have bike rentals, boat rentals, tour guys, teaming up with tour companies, teaming up with restaurants, teaming up with laundry services, right? If you don't want to do laundry yourself, then team up with a company to do that. But teaming up with local businesses that are in the area, coffee shops, etc., creating some kind of code. For example, with our restaurants, a lot of the restaurants gives us coupons for our guests, either for a free appetizer or 10% off that has our logo on it. When they go in to present that restaurant owner knows that customer comes to us, and at the end of the month, they'll give us a small commission check, right? The next big one is, and this is something that we just started. Now I'll have full transparency. What I'm about to talk about, we have ownership in part of it, and that is teaming up with travel agencies. People, this is a big additional revenue source because now you can provide a full service to your customers as it relates to vacations, right? So for example, we have teamed up with Dream Vacations. Now, again, transparency, I have a part ownership in Dream Vacations. So the additional revenue source now that we get from them is through airfare, through ground transportation, depending on where they're going, through hotel stays, through excursions, through cruises, through all-inclusive resorts. There's Just imagine all the stuff that you can sell your guests as it relates to vacation, and not just during their stay, but for future stays. So one of the things that we do a lot is that we market our guests. So when a guest stays at our property, right, we upsell them through all the upsells that I just mentioned, right? And there's going to be a couple other ones that I'm going to talk about after I finish talking about this particular way that we monetize our guests. Once they stay at our property and once they check out, especially if they've been good guests, we send them an email giving them our website, a discount code for future travel, right? Because I want that guest to come back and spend money with us. And we also send them a link to our travel agency website. So when they plan on coming back and they plan on, now they can plan their airfare with us, their full trip can be planned with us. In addition, they don't have to come back. For example, if they came to Fort Lauderdale, they don't have to come back to Fort Lauderdale. Now they have our website and they can see our properties in South America, in Europe. We can provide villas in Europe and the Caribbean, South America. We can provide hotel stays. Again, you are a full service travel agency, and by giving them your website and adding them to your email marketing list, because I hope you are marketing to your prior guests and you're sending them newsletters on a monthly basis and providing them value that way. I mean, again, the way you monetize your guests is going to be endless. You're only limited by your creativity. I'm going to give you one more. I think I just drawing a blank. There was something else I was going to talk about, but I'm going to give you one more that a lot of people do not think about, but you have to have inventory for this. So for example, we offer an upgrade option. So let's say someone books a house without a pool. Well, if we have a house with a pool that's available during for the days that they requested, we will send them a link to that and say, hey, for just whatever the additional cost is going to be, you can upgrade to this property. It is a great way to increase your revenue by offering your guests properties that are more expensive, so that you can have an increased revenue, and freeing up the least expensive properties. In addition to that, one of the ways, if you're strategic about it, you can actually start to fill up properties that are not as popular as those that are. And they may not necessarily be a better property, but if you offer it as an upgrade, so for example, if you have a property, if someone booked a 2-bedroom property, and then you have a 3-bedroom property that doesn't sell as well, for whatever reason, it's not performing well, then just offer it and just that guest that 3-bedroom property, add an additional 10, 20, whatever dollar figure you want to give it, so they can stay there. You can transfer that reservation over, have them stay at that property that isn't performing well right now, so that that property can get booked, and you can still have an opportunity to book the property that does rent well. Anyway, hope that makes sense. So if you have any additional questions to that, or if you want to figure out how to monetize in terms of your overall business, then just send me a message on that. But here's the thing, like with this particular question, this guy that asked that question, I firmly believe would have gotten much better value or much better answer to the specific question had they just bought me a coffee, and we would have scheduled a call so we can discuss their particular business, because there's a lot of things you can do. So for example, as I mentioned, I gave you how to monetize guests, but if you have a property management business or you're hosting for other people, there's a lot of other different ways to monetize. So for example, as a result of my property management business, we started bringing in-house and monetizing the landscaping, the pest control. I just mentioned the travel, right? We added a travel agency in-house so that we can monetize that. Having said that, Dream Vacation is the sponsor of this channel, so take a quick second and take a look at this video. All right, welcome back. If you're interested in booking a villa in one of our villas in Jamaica, then just DM me the word Jamaica, and I'll send you all the information for that. If you want to book any travel whatsoever, or as I mentioned before, we're going to be traveling, and I'll touch on this now. We're only days away from our month trip to Europe. If you have a property in Europe or any property and you want us to help you optimize it and give you tips on how to run your business and be more efficient and be more profitable, then hit me up. We're trying to fill up our calendar while we're in Europe, but we get back from Europe at the end of June, and then we're going to be traveling back to Puerto Rico. We just got hired to optimize some properties in Puerto Rico, but I'm open. I want to do a lot of optimization. I want to meet more hosts. I want to go ahead and help and add value to my viewers and my current guests by offering additional properties that we don't manage specifically. But there's a lot of unique properties out there. Our database of hosts that are partnering up with us and we're sending guests their way is growing, and I want to continue to grow that. So keep that in mind. So now let's go into our revenue for this month. For this week. This week, in terms of rental revenue, we brought in $52,359.36. Additional revenue source, again, you're only limited by your imagination here. We bought in $11,917.35. It is substantial, people. $10,000 a week, or over $10,000 a week, which is what we normally average, is substantial. It's good money, people. So let's look at our nights booked for this week. We had 253 nights booked this week. Our occupancy rate is at 65.19%, still below where I want to be. Our average daily rate is $166. Our RevPAR is 108. In terms of booking source, our platform was the number one booking source, and we brought in terms of revenue, $23,000, a little over $23,500. Airbnb came in at $8,000. Booking.com came in at $5,000. Verbal came in at $3,000, and then other came in, just under $3,000. RevPAR per region, we have Pompano at $310, Oakland Park at $433, Lauderdale by the Sea at $309, Fort Lauderdale at $280, and all others are at $104. In terms of staffing, nothing new to report in terms of staffing. No major issues this week, but I want to touch on one of the things that we're doing, a new software that we're bringing in, and that is we're changing our current AI software to a new software, right? We've been playing around with it. So let's talk a little bit about AI. If you're not taking advantage of AI, you're missing out and missing out by a lot. I can't express how important and how useful and how profitable my business has become since we started using AI. So currently, the new software that we're playing with is going to be assisting my virtual assistants in our customer service department, right? The AI, and if you're not familiar how AI works, AI really adapts to your business, and the more you use it, the more it adapts to it. Some people say it learns the more you use it. I don't like to use learning because it really doesn't learn. It just understands, and the more data you put into it, the better it understands, and the better it can be used for your business. So currently, we are using it as part of our customer service. Oh, my dog wants to play now. Kelly. So, and it is amazing on how well it adapts. It's amazing on how well it responds and communicates. What? Look at her. She wants to play. So my recommendation is that you start looking for some type of AI application or AI software so that you can implement in your business, especially if you're looking to grow. So for example, Adam, or the guy that asked the question earlier, who mentioned that he's looking to scale. Monetizing your guest is one thing, but scaling through acquisition and growth is only going to happen when you start using technology to your advantage. And AI is one of those technology tools that you need to be implementing. I'm going to give you an example of how it works, and one of the things that really helped us, because now we can respond much quicker to our inquiries and our guest questions. So for example, we get a lot of questions related to, like, where is that property in relationship to X, right? If it's a common location, like where's the property in relationship to the beach, we already have the answer because it's a common question. Our VA already knows how to respond to that. But when it's something that's not common, like for example, we have a guest that's coming in for some kind of surgery and is staying in one of our properties, and their surgery is at an outpatient clinic in Pompano. Well, that's not common for us. So when the guest asks the question, hey, I'm going to be staying, I like to book this property, but I'm going to need to be going to this outpatient clinic, and provided us with the address to the outpatient clinic, normally our VAs would have to Google that and figure out what the distance is. Our AI tool was instant. And the question came in, AI responded with here's the distance, right? And the other thing I like about our AI tool is that it's geared towards customer service. So it provides an answer that's really customer service friendly. I don't know if you know the difference, but there is a big difference. And I tell people all the time, if you are training VAs that are new to customer service, I highly recommend you go to Disney. Disney provides a customer service training program, and learn that. That's how I used to do it in the past. Today, these AI tools are amazing, and they're going to respond accordingly, and you don't have to worry about training your VAs as much as you did before in terms of customer service and how to properly answer a specific question, right? There are a couple of things that are common. You never want to be argumentative. So you never want to embarrass or call out your guests or potential guests on like stupid questions, etc. Using AI that eliminates that, it's very useful. I love it. Anyway, let me end this video by telling you, if you want to donate to this channel, if you want to ask me a specific question, if you want me to visit your property, team up with you, and help you optimize and just brainstorm our ideas, and DM me. Let's do that, people. Buy me a coffee or hit that heart or that sticker on this YouTube channel. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.